Hi, I'm Pete Alcock, one of the inventors of the BBS1 Backbox Saver device. We put together this short video to show you how to use the Backbox Saver in both of its intended applications. Firstly, as a means to solve the problem of a stripped thread in a back box when you're fitting or refitting a switch or socket outlet, and secondly as a means to adjust the height and the inclination of a socket or switch once it's actually installed. Now obviously if we were doing this in situ, we'd have cables entering the back of the box connected to the socket outlet, but for clarity we've just got a loose box and socket outlet. So the first thing, if you were doing this with an existing installation, would be to switch off the power at the mains, the consumer unit for the circuit that you're about to work on. So what I've got here in my demonstration setup is a standard double galvanised socket box and a standard UK double switch socket outlet. We've also got the components of the Backbox Saver kit, the BBS1. We've got the T-nut itself. We've got 3 sizes of sleeving and a pair of double-sided sticky pads. So for the first part, when we've got a stripped lug, if we imagine for a moment that this lug over this side is no longer able to accept the screw, you can keep turning and turning and it won't tighten up. The next stage is preparation of the lug. What we have to do is to remove the thread from inside the damaged lug. There's a couple of ways of doing this. We can either use a reamer. I've got a small reamer made by Hall Tools of Sheffield, and we can just insert the reamer until we've taken out the inner thread. Otherwise we can use a 4mm standard drill bit in a cordless or a hand drill and very carefully drill out the lug to 4mm. The next thing we have to do is select the appropriate size of sleeving to use with the Backbox Saver device. We provide 3 sizes in the pack: green, which is the narrowest, blue, medium and wide red one, because the lugs are different in all back boxes. So we can see here that the green one fits easily over the lug. Next thing to do is to take the metal T-nut, and the T-nut goes into the middle portion of the sleeving, and we press the sleeving down like so, so that it fits into the groove behind the cone portion. Next thing, squeeze the sleeving, slip the Backbox Saver over the lug, and have a look through the top to ensure that the threaded portion of the T-nut lines up with the hole in the lug. We're now ready to reassemble the socket or switch on top of the box. So that goes on the top, line up, yeah, I can feel that's bitten okay, and now very carefully just feed that through until you feel the thread start to engage with the Backbox Saver. As you tighten it up, the shape of the T-nut will lock it into position, and you'll be able to tighten both screws up completely, and that's the problem solved. Okay, what we're going to look at now is the secondary application of the Backbox Saver, and that's what we term the raise tilt lower feature. Everybody's had the situation where a socket isn't level on the wall, either because the box was installed incorrectly, or it moved slightly, or for whatever reason the switch is not level, maybe with one next to it, and it's annoying. So what we can do is drill out the lug in the back box slightly larger than what we would do for the normal BBS installation, and we're going to drill through with 4.5 or 5mm drill. drilled through with 4.5, we'll now see that we've started to get some lateral movement because the hole is a millimetre larger than the 3.5mm screw that goes in. We've now gained a millimetre or so of adjustment. If we feel that we need still more adjustment, then we can go through with a 5mm drill, and again, being very careful that we don't damage the lug, we can drill the lug out to 5mm, and that is giving us even more up and down adjustment. It's quite important to take out any swarf from the back box before you refit it, so I'm just using a piece of tape here just to mop up all the little bits of drilling before we refit the switch or the socket. So again, as we saw in the earlier part of the video, squeeze the sleeving, slip the backbox saver over the lug and just engage the screw like so. Put the other screw in, and we should now see that we've gained a good amount of adjustment. So even though the lug isn't moving, the backbox saver is able to slide up and down behind our existing fixed lug, and we've now got considerable amount of adjustment play so that we can raise, tilt, lower, so that this box, this socket is completely level and that it lines up with maybe one that's adjacent to it. That's the secondary use of the backbox saver. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and good luck with your installations.